Hello and welcome to the Inner Gamer Next, where we play a video game and figure out if it should or shouldn't be next up on your video game playlist. And as always, if you enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe and bang that bell because we know you want to. Bang it!
But we've been playing a lot of different games. But one thing I've been playing recently that I haven't gone too deep into, but did want to start talking about because it is a new game, is a Concrete Genie for the PlayStation 4. This is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and this game was revealed at E3 several years ago, and it caught my eye with just the gorgeous art style and game mechanic that it had. And it was pitched as a game in which you have a character that's inside this really bland, dark, decrepit kind of world. What you find out is it's a fishing area, and you grew up here as a child, and now because there was an oil spill in the area, all of the industry has left the city and it's become a ghost town. So you're in this area that is no longer inhabitable because the oil spill killed all the industry and then everybody had to leave. So you come back as a kid to explore this place that you grew up and have a love for because it's your home and want to see it. But the main mechanic of this game is painting, and painting in a very unique and exciting and, quite frankly, incredibly innovative way in the way that they approach it, especially on PS4, getting dated, going older, all that stuff. But this is one of the few games that actually takes advantage of the gyroscope inside the PlayStation 4, which is weird. Like, you don't ever see that anymore. Like, I remember the first couple games that came out were like Infamous Second Son. That was the first game that introduced the mechanic of it, and you use it to spray paint. So in this, you use it to paint. So that's the same kind of mechanic here. And you activate your painting abilities, and then you have a little crosshair that shows up on the screen, and then you move your controller around, like the full motion of your controller, to point at a portion of a wall and start painting. So you hold down the button to paint and just move around, and you can do curves, lines, and all that stuff, and it's pretty accurate. It hits the point, and it's not meant to be very precision painting, but it's more you just make some broad strokes and this beautiful art comes to life on the screen. So you're not having to do finite detail oriented painting to draw lines and shapes and fill in color, but instead you choose a type of art. The only thing I have unlocked right now is landscapes, and with that I can do grass, and then along the bottom
That's it?
That's grass. One of the things. So one of the things I can do is grass, and I can only draw grass everywhere. That's all it is. It's like grass everywhere. This
awesome.
You just got wood everywhere, and then I just like throw some grass on. It looks great. It's just beautiful.
Great. Perfect.
But for example, with the grass, you can paint along the bottom edge of a wall, and then it creates this grass, and then flows up and animates up from the bottom of the ground, and that's super cool. And if you go around an edge where it curves to the side, like you go to a corner and you keep your crosshair going, you can see both sides. It just continuously just continues that paint along the edges and attaches to the 3D art that you're painting. And you can paint almost everything in this game, which is really cool. So the technical achievement behind this gameplay is astonishing. And they have several types of things you can paint. So you have your grass. You can paint like these little, I'd call them like plant leaf things that come out of the ground. You can paint trees that will like big evergreen trees that'll populate from up in the background. You can paint like full like curved trees that then come out into like a tree that you created the shape of, and then it fills up with leaves and brush once you draw like the line of the what do you call it, the thing that the tree trunk, tree trunk. I was like, what is that word? Once you draw the tree trunk, and you can have animations inside of it, so you can paint butterflies that will like flutter around inside the space. You can do stars. You can create an aurora borealis up in the sky. They have fires that you can create that warm, which is the reason why it's called Concrete Genie, is that the big mechanic behind it is your helpers in this world. Like, you're an isolated loner kind of kid who gets bullied by people. And when you first come to this town, there's these bully kids that want to, beat you up. And you're an artist. Like, you've been drawing books or drawing characters in your sketchbook forever. And what you find out early on in the game is that something with this stuff that's in this world allows you to have your drawings come to life on the walls. And they only exist on the walls. So you can take one of your characters that you used to draw in your sketchbook, and once you so these bullies take your sketchbook and rip it up, and then all of the papers get scattered across the world. So the main gist of the game is you're going to find the pages of your sketchbook that you have now lost. So you go find a sketchbook, and that gives you a piece of art that you can now draw either in the game world or to your genie. And the genies are these little friends that you create that exist. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cough right now because of allergy season and sinuses and all that stuff. So it's hit me hard. It's hit me good.
Say that.
But yeah, the genies are really cool, and you find an area where they have it drawn like a chalk drawing on the ground, which you had drawn from like many years ago, and it's here. You go to the chalk drawing, and you can draw on the wall, and then create a genie who now comes to life on the wall, and follows you around and helps you progress through different areas of the game. So it may help you get through a door where like you have these fire genies that if you get two of them together, they can catch this real object in the world on fire, which causes it to burn down and let you get through this door. Or they may create like a bridge for you to walk across something on the wall, which is really weird. But they're there as like buddies to you and partners in your journey through this, making this world a better place. And it's just a really cool, creative, clever this piece of game design. I mean, I'm really impressed. I don't think it's for everybody because there's not a lot of action in the game. A lot of it's just illustrating these pieces, and you don't have to go crazy with it. But I just have fun just going around, just painting everywhere, and just making this really drab, rundown old warehouse look beautiful with all this new art, illustration, color, and stuff like that. But then there's a lot of gameplay mechanics that come into play. Like one of the things you have to do, you have to clear a zone by painting on the walls to allow these like string lights that are up on the wall to light up. And then when you start painting them, they start to light up in the game world. And then you see them on the game map. You have an overhead game map because it's an open world or an open area kind of game. You can see where those are. You can see where pages are in the world. So you go to that area to find the page that can then be added to your journal to allow you to paint and design more stuff. And it's just a really clever, simple, I think it's $40. So it's cheaper than a normal game as well. And it takes such good advantage of the PlayStation controls. It's designed really nicely. I don't have a lot of qualms with it. The animation is really good. The character design's great. Just the illustrations are amazing. I mean,
So
it's wild.
It is a PlayStation exclusive.
It is, yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Another reason why I love PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the gameplay might be simple, but overall, like, it's an interesting, unique story that you can't tell by doing, a yearly shooter or, a battle royale. It's like, I know games are meant for entertainment and have fun and all that stuff's great and has its place, but, to tell a story that's interesting and unique is rare these days. So I'm excited to jump into it. It might be, I probably won't be able to get around it until next year because all the games that are coming out. But
Right.
Yeah, man, it sounds awesome.
For what I've been
great.
told too, it's a short game. It's not very long. I'm about 2.5 hours in right now. But
Is it $60?
the 40.
Okay,
So even better.
I anticipate that. Yeah,
And there is a part of it where, from what I've heard, reviews, is that halfway through the game, it completely changes and becomes almost a different game, and you start actual combat, which right now, like, you avoid any confrontations with the bullies that are after you. You can call them to distract them, to get to where they are, but you can't engage with them because they'll just beat you up and stuff like that.
game over. I killed you.
Yeah. But eventually that changes later on. But it's a very impressive work of art. and they've done some really great things with it. The company that did it is Pixelopus, or Pixelopus is the name of it. And they made a game called Entwined a long time ago, which I've never played. But that game was received pretty well. But this one has gotten 9s, 10, or 9, 9.5, 8.5 across the board. So I'm impressed by what they've done. And there's a VR component to it. So if you have PlayStation VR, you can put your VR headset in and paint in virtual reality, which is really, really cool. And that's included with the $40 price tag. So
That's
not
nice.
not a bad deal. So yeah, Concrete Genie. I'm going to talk more about it next week once I actually get it to a completion. But yeah, if you guys have a PlayStation, highly recommend picking this game up. It's a nice break in between other games that you might be playing. These other like 50-hour epics. This one definitely strikes a good chord. It's calming. It's relaxing. It's fun. It's a good game.